So what happens when friends fight, alliances get betrayed, and a whole lot of drama occurs? Well, that's what we're gonna be finding out in episode 5 of Call of Drama. So buckle up, because this is gonna be a long one. What is up, guys? MEOWER here, back with a brand new Call of Drama video. It seems like that's the only content we're making on the channel these days. Just so much drama going on in this game. Love it. I love it, and I hope you love it as well. So, before we get started, I'm just gonna give a little context about the S32 situation. I'm gonna repeat what I said in my previous video. I'm not gonna make a response video to air out everything, because there's just no reason to make a response about someone that complains every time that they betray when they did betray in another game. But we're not gonna touch on that anyways. So just leave it to that. There's no reason to continue discussing that topic anymore. The guys have requested for me not to continue discussing that anymore. So we're gonna move on to a spicier topic. We're back in S2-1005 about the TNS Alliance and everything that's happened there with the Ascendant, with Moopsy, with Wowzer, and surprisingly, Jason is not even at fault this time when it comes to the server. So before we get started, please be sure to drop a like, don't forget to subscribe, and let's get started. So we're going to be splitting up this video into two halves. We're going to be starting off by showing the timeline of what happened exactly from Wowzer's point of view, and the group of Wowzer. We're going to have three key figures in that group. We're going to have Wowzer, we're going to have Erisy, and I think that's how I pronounce his name, and we're going to have Boo. These are going to be the three main figures about the first half from this video. We're going to be getting features from Sod, our favorite soft on demand. I miss that guy, love him to death, and so many other people. But the three main people to look for, or rather the four people to look for, is going to be Wowzer, Erisy, Soma, and Boo. So let's get started. A little context before this whole ordeal happened. There was a deal that happened between part of a group from the Ascendant and TMS regarding the stalemate that was happened, because as we know, season 2 is pretty much choke point gaming and bunch of barricades in a keep, and you just keep ramming each other into the barricades until one side eventually gives up. But when both sides are remotely equal, it's really difficult to break that stalemate, which is what was pretty much happening in that server. So Wowzer put up a deal, though a bit of the context from that deal was a bit at fault from Wowzer. As we can see here, the day of the deal, pretty much Wowzer's group has made a deal for terms of the end of season. ASC fam, or the Ascended fam, will pretty much give up 70% of Dragon, because at that time, the day of that deal, ASC was looking favored to wipe out TNS from the cliff. So I'm not really sure as to why Wowzer made a deal such as that, to be honest. I like to be as neutral as possible and call out bad calls when I see one. And in my opinion, Wowzer made a really bad call. Like, why would you go for a deal before the war is even over? And why not just play it out, since at the time, I believe the ASC group were winning and they were getting ready for a big push that would wipe out TMS from the cliff. At least that was what's told to me from the other side of TMS. So the deal had terms as followed. For end of season, the ASC fam would get 70% of the Dragon rewards, and TMS TNS would get 30%. They will come for ASC for the rewards, and the TMS and TMS territory and the cliff would be deleted. And pretty much they're going to start having friendly wars, just merit farming in general. So that was the deal. It seems pretty solid, but accordingly, and Wowzer did state that ASCO, the other half of ASC, were not present in the deal at the time, and I do believe there were a few other members not present, which is again a mistake from Wowzer. Like, you cannot make a deal without your entire council, especially such a game impacting deal such as that. He even admits it here, which I give props to. Pretty much it was a unanimous vote from the side. Of course, Boo was representing TMS at the time, and it's such an amazing deal for TMS at the time. So I fail to see why they wouldn't agree, because if the season played out the way ASCS expected, especially Abda expected, they would have pretty much wiped out TMS and pretty much took over the Dragon and just dictated what would happen in general. So again, I'm not really sure why the deal happened, but again, more conversation happened here. When Abda woke up, he was upset. He had a fit, causing Soma, Khalid and him to leave without time for us to discuss the issue, work through it. Moopsy had already begun streaming the whole situation this time with little knowledge of it because he hadn't spoken to me or Arase or Soma about it. So here we got a little fight here. Abda being very reasonable about it. Like, he's stating that they are that, and as well as Wowzer admitting that he was in mistake. Like, you can't really fault Abda for his reaction to the matter, but it just, like, this is so far, it's looking pretty decent, pretty well, pretty reasonable. Like, no harm, no foul. People just being upset about it. And then, trust me, it's gonna get even. It's gonna turn into an absolute roller coaster afterwards. Because if I remember correctly, Wowzer does get kicked out the alliance. Afterwards, he just has a very long conversation with Abda that I'm pretty sure really no reason to just showcase it all. I can just show the little screen here, and you can, I guess, zoom in or whatever. I don't know. If you want the link to the description of that Discord, just type it in the comments below and I'll show you. I don't want to take too long. But pretty much Abda and Wowzer had a very long conversation. However, they did get labeled afterwards as traitors and they quit the game, etc., which started wrong because we're trying to fix the issue and still in our coalition. Afterwards, the second part, which things become a real roller coaster, is that after Wowzer and Heresy and Co get kicked out for not or not kicked out, left, I guess, or I guess they got kicked out. I'm not really sure the exact detail, but after that whole fiasco has happened, um, just to be precise, you said that you would join back ASC role. An officer of Moopsy is not R5. Something, of course, involves Moopsy. Everything always involves you, Moopsy. I don't know why you cause so much trouble, bro. But yeah. Wowzer was pretty much asking what was going on, why no one wants to talk to him and everything about Moopsy, about them being spies and whatnot. And then things start really taking over a roller coaster. So at this point, at that date, the 24th of October, at this point, Abda and Moopsy have directly accused us spying, which is again wrong. I know Arisi said things to Sod on the 24th and 23rd. Time frame is rough, and I don't have Arisi's SS of this yet, but again, realize Arisi is a human who had been lied about. His friends had turned against him, and his wife was just kicked. Him saying something that was already public knowledge to them due to spies is very little when it comes to spying. I'm not really sure what the context they're talking about here, but I guess Heresy did leak war plans to Sod. Sod, you naughty, naughty boy. Always involved in any of these dramas one way or another. It's them and Boo here, they're talking, they're seeing everything, that pretty much the plans got leaked out, the announcements and whatnot. Like, again, not the best thing to do, but it was a reaction to them getting kicked out, but at the same time, at the core of the thing, you cannot make a deal and not wait for everyone else to be present for such a game-changing deal. Again, try to be as honest and as neutral as possible in this. I'm not picking sides, I'm just laying it as I see it. Again, this was not sent to Saw before the situation. It was sent afterwards. It was sent after the 23rd due to timestamps. Wordage of yesterday when Arisi sent me things, etc. We'll fix it when Arisi is awake to have the exact date. The exact date of said messages is on the 23rd after they were kicked out on the 22nd. So would they be constituted of spies if they were already kicked out at the point? I don't think so. Maybe it's just a bit of a sour revenge, but I don't think it should be labeled as spying. And of course, we got our guest of honor, Jason, in the one of the conversations here, though I think that's the only time he shows up in the whole thing. Even at this point, Jason is taunting me how good the deal we made was, etc. See here. Unknown season still going. We see what the car from gotcha. Proved right to talk to Dylan. Logic made sense. We will be able to get frame even if you won. I do agree the deal was made, but now it's all anyway, and even more so than expected from the season. The deal itself is not bad, just the timing and the way it was set up is not good at all. Again, I just want to emphasize on that. The deal as a deal, because we've seen with so many servers they have not been able to take the dragon without getting help from their enemies or whatever, due to how difficult it is. Especially the elite raid is pretty difficult as well. We've seen alliances with 30 T5 struggle with it. So it does make sense to ask for help and in turn give rewards, but not in the middle of a war, pretty much. On the 25th, set up behind enemy lines. So this is where things take a turn pretty much. Like it's just the roller coaster completely. This is the exact time frame where the roller coaster is going up and then it starts going to the way down and everyone is screaming and shouting and everyone is confused and no one really understands what's going on anymore. So at this point, Wowzer has been working in calls with Jason and Sod, convincing them of his hatred towards Abda and Moopsy. Though Wowzer does hate Moopsy. Moopsy, you're always hated. I don't know what's wrong, bro. But yeah, and how I want to over and not much happening this day, another day in the life of drama, and then the 26th is when things really start to take a turn. At this point, he's gotten Jason to give him an offer to have leadership in the alliance after haggling and negotiating, etc. throughout the day, pretty much setting up for this. Once I've gotten him sold on the fact that I would possibly come and bring people, he offered me leadership. Now I've created the ability to execute said plan presented to everyone, upon which they agreed initially and agreed to they would utilize it. Maybe not everyone, but most. Khaled and Abda specifically said they agreed to do their abuse of bugs throughout the season. Hence, I accepted said offer of Jason. Now, a little context though. I believe Wowzer was working together with Khaled and Abda on this deal, and they were informed of it going down before it went down. Hence, I accepted said offer of Jason and executed said plan. It wasn't until hours after I was inside the alliance I started brought people to fulfill my end that they decided they would not be part of it, etc., and distance themselves from it. Which for me just feels like they're abandoning me to a plan they've agreed to do. And to be honest, I was presently desperate to prove my loyalty to a team that was constantly calling me a traitor. I fell asleep at this point and woke up at around 3:30 a.m. to the news that they likely knew the plan just said, and went for it. I gave an emotional reaction to Moopsy, saying stuff which honestly I don't apologize because I've had enough of this, and I own everything I said. So again, a little fight broke off here. Abda and whatnot. Abda was discussing with Wowzer when this whole thing was gonna go down, and they were getting ready to capitalize on the matter of this going down. And then here, Wowzer is talking with Abda as well. Zero chance. Could have offered me and made me flip. They're really trying hard to get you flip. Calls with Jason and Boo. Boo. Come on, bro. You're always there. This is the only season. Oh, again, this is a screenshot that was repeated. And then here is a conversation. Wait, what is this screenshot? Is this a new one? Huh. Wait, what did I click? What is this? I'm trying to make it as late as possible. Oh, here is Wowzer stating that he's announcing pretty much that will happen and everyone else pretty much seems to be present. And then Soma is objecting to it. This is the biggest betrayal I could ever think of. How can this be even discussed? Imagine all those innocent players in TMS. Well, in war, there are no innocents. So that's thick. And some people, some fighting in Belleron or some drama. His point is that any person who's remotely active knows that Wowzer affiliation with ASC is zero. They're distancing themselves from him in public, though, yeah. And then some even more stuff went on. Again, you can deep dive into those screenshots. If you want to join the Discord, just let me know. I'll leave the link to it in the description, assuming it doesn't really get deleted after this video's over. And then some pictures showing Wowzer pretty much playing the part as a Trojan horse. He gained their trust, he went in, and then afterwards just nuked the whole thing. I gotta give him props for that. You know, that's a pretty efficient execution if I've ever seen one. Even the process he so discord between TFS and TMS convinced them of a person spying that was indeed not a spy, hence creating more chaos inside their coalition. Soma replied after I've already been in TMS people for a few hours. In addition to this, they're just Trojan horsing pretty much between Aracy and Sod. Oh, soft on demand. And then here's a little fight between Wowzer, Moopsy, and Abda. I don't know if there's anything really important here. It's just a little fight and everything between them both, I would guess. With all due respect, Wowzer would have to stop being I left BD to go share R5 with you. For whatever reason, you comfortably went back on your word once I joined ASC, even as going as far as green with Bona call and reasons why you and Abda should hold it and put zero effort into what doing any leader in that would do. And then just a little fighting going on here and there, but that's like the most minimum part of this whole ordeal. Next up, in addition to pretty much all the issues got aired out. Abda and Wowzer not wanting to give Moopsy R5, even although he consistently thought it was previously told he would get it pre-migration, but the council changed it to Abda. Simple truth, I said he would get R5 at the time, and the council and staff did not accept that. And I'm full at fault saying he would, but Abda took his spot in that case. Pre-Zone 3, wherever the final zone is. And now, just some more fighting here and there. There's really nothing else to add to the matter except just what a mind-twisted whole thing. Like, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, because this is quite the roller coaster of what happened. I don't think I've ever seen anything happen to this in Call of Dragons just yet. Like, imagine after all this, and as well, there was a little fight between a key player after the whole thing went down. Pretty much, in the eyes of some players, I would say, precisely Sandy Muffins, was getting all her messages deleted because she was very upset with what's going on. Everything she was saying was getting absolutely deleted and censored, and then she was just being out and everything. And Moopsy was saying that he's pretty much just gonna delete everything, and she was like, "Why are you deleting everything? Why are you doing this? I'd rather we fight fair. If we lose, oh well, but no, we couldn't make a deal because of egos of people not being involved in a deal. And arguably, it was the right decision." She is on Wowzer's side on this matter, but again, it was kind of not the right idea to do this in the middle of war. But again, it carried over here. She got after she got kicked from the Discord, I would say. Mopsy is being very diplomatic here, I guess. And here Sandy's just explaining herself. Like, I do feel bad for Sandy. She did get caught off in the middle of the crossfire pretty much. She's understandably upset. Like, no one who gets kicked off would be happy. Like, why would you be happy when you get kicked? Of course, you're going to be frustrated, you're going to be upset, and you're going to start lashing out. And then finally, she gets removed here. Feel free to scroll up this chat. And Moopsy gets kicked out of this chat as well. And, oh, Moopsy. But this is pretty much has been Wowzer's side. I think it's time for us to see the response of the ASC Council. So this is the second half of the video. A little recap before we get started in the ASC part is that Wowzer messed up, he tried to make it right, and then it just became an absolute dumpster fire of he said of you did, no you, no you, no you, and in the end, the innocent players in the middle get caught up in the crossfire after such long time, but such is the case with so many alliances. Now, for the Council of ASC had recently voted in favor. I don't, bro. Don't do this stuff with me, okay? ASC Council responds to the drama. On context, I had provided them with the timeline and I asked them for a response, and the group, which involved the main key decision makers, I would say, I didn't see anyone of ASCO, which is the sub alliance, I guess. I didn't see them in that conversation when I had, but it did have Abda, it had Moopsy, it had Soma, it had Khalid. I think it had someone else. I'm not really remembering. I don't really want to open the chat right now, but yeah. I'm sorry, whoever you are, I forgot you. Okay, I'm bad with names. Don't judge me, please. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, let's continue. So on the 22nd of October, individual leadership members of ASC, ROS, and TMS abruptly got together to make a deal that was intended to end the season. That deal got nullified as two of the six alliances had no representatives during the negotiation. A screenshot of the deal, which we discussed earlier, of Abda speaking about it, this deal, or rather Wowzer speaking about it, the coalition between the Outcast fam Server 40 ASC consists of full alliances ASC, ASCO, NET, and ROS. To make a legitimate deal, each alliance had to be represented. They are right on this point. If you want to make a deal that will affect everyone, everyone that will be affected, or rather the representatives of those people, should be present. And Wowzer did admit to his mistake on that part. Why the deal is invalid. ASCO was not present. The ASC Council had an invalid vote. ROS did not hold an officer vote, which all our force participated, and NET was not present. Context. ASC Council system is supposed to work by majority vote. In order for that vote to be valid, everyone, and keynote, everyone needs to have a chance to give their input and then cast their vote. According to Wowzer and Heresy vision of how the council works, Abda, Moopsy, and Soma could make this all the decisions of the season, while Heresy uh, and Wowzer are sleeping, since 3 out of 5 is the majority, which is true. But a little side note, I think before everything that went on, Wowzer was kind of getting burnt out with the game a little bit, and Heresy was was rather in his anniversary, I think he told me. I forgot. I don't. Who cares? Potato, potato. Tomato, tomato. As for ROS leadership structure works, they use officer voting to make a poor decision. This did not happen before the agreement happened. So evidence of the people who were in the group, as we can see, we only see Heresy, Wowzer, and Soma. 3 out of 5 people. But again, Soma called it off later, I guess. I don't know. But he did vote yes, So I guess it was only Abda and Moopsy that were present. That weren't present, rather. And then the betrayal, part 1. Betraying ASCO. The negotiation call was held behind the back of ASCO, our own family alliance. Throughout this whole season, Wowzer and Heresy had undermined ASCO to the extent that our relationship with them was close to falling apart. This is a common knowledge to any officer in the family that, given the circumstances, ASCO would never be remotely okay with Wowzer and Heresy presenting them. I would like maybe someone from ASCO to comment below and either confirm or deny this part. I haven't really done my due diligence on this part because there was just so much stuff, and and the video would just take way too long. So I'm trying to rush through it now. Wowzer and Heresy are very much aware of the fact both of them had made it abundantly clear that they are indifferent to the ones of our members and stick to it, but even now. Their propaganda campaign has effectively ruined the season for all alliances in the last zone, and for what? Their own pleasure. Every single time they have been confronted by and with betraying ASC and the members of the coalition, they try making the case because the majority of ASCS council was present, which was actually a valid deal, which further undermines their childish habit to avoid taking any accountability. Seems a little trendy here. Accountability and XPD. Mm, 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 mm. And part two, the internal council situation. Since day one of Zone 3, Wowzer and Energy had been ghosts in the council team. Abda was the only North American council member that still contributed to the success of our alliances, and it remained the same until Wowzer and Heresy left ASC. Both claimed to be inactive due to IRL chores, but since leaving our alliance, they've been on 8 hours a day, spreading propaganda with the intent to kill the alliance they care to claim about. A little counter this. Why would anyone want to kill the alliance they built? As I think I was present during the time ASC was starting to get formed, or rather near the end of last season when Wowzer and his group caught off and started to leave BD. Why would they do that? Why destroy something you built? But yeah, to carry on. While members of ASC family have fought for Easton and often staying slash waking up at ridiculous times to push, they simply haven't had the motivation to come online. Council members, by the way, because Wowzer and NRC decided to pursue other hobbies, Abda and Moosey had to significantly do more work. Well, Moosey, you better work. Work it, boy, work it. And during Zone 3, Zone 4, two of us had an average screen time of 19 hours a day for almost 2 weeks. Abda went as far as canceling concerts and other IRL commitments to assure victorious pushes. Throughout the whole week-long battle at the Zone 4 choke point, Wowzer and RC were nowhere to be seen. Wowzer claimed that he got a new job and was planning a wedding, which is completely fair, of course. Abda told him not to get burnt out, and he was willing to put 20 hours to war if he was going to get through that phase. It turned out, really, Wowzer was actively playing and wailing on Warpath during the peak week of ASC's war, while RC members have spent restless nights winning the war. Wowzer had fun in a new Warpath server. Evidence of those claims. You can see here. Huh? Why won't this zoom in? It's like, oh, more taught me actually, blah blah blah. You can see here from the date that Abda is asking Wowzer not to burn out or anything, because Wowzer was a bit or but like, bro, I was in a place where like literally rage download the Warpath again and spent like $500. So their claims seem to be true. And a screenshot of Wowzer's Warpath account where he was wailing, and this one was edited, I guess. It's been started 1.5, and literally been a couple of message and brand new server. Not only was Wowzer playing a different game, which implies Abda was left in the dust as the only NA council member leading things this huge war, he was forced to take the diplomatic responsibilities while micromanaging the war for 15 plus hours a day. The one thing super important to be said that COD is a war game. If you refuse to show up for most important fights, you cannot be a leader. You earn people's respect on the battlefield. Doing a lot of diplo, recruitment, and being absent is a no-go. Being demoralized because of bugs is a poor excuse to lack commitment. Does Wowzer really think the rest of leadership were exhausted by our enemy's exploit usage? He seems to believe that everyone is having a lot of fun fighting for a week and a half straight against an alliance. Oh, a week and a half straight against an alliance without principles. The fight was brutal. Wowzer consistently tried to co coerce others to do all the dirty work. As for Heresy, he helped with war leading for like 3 hours in a single day and was Mia for the rest of the zone. With context, let's move on to the deal. Literally out of nowhere, Wowzer and Heresy decided to be hyperactive and make a deal with TMS and TMS within 45 minutes. Please explain to us, people who haven't fought, join voice chat. Talk to members, have the right to make a deal out of nowhere. At this point, we cracked our enemies and took control of the road ground. It's looking like we were able to win the season without an agreement. Once the agreement was nullified, once the energy left, ASC, their activity suddenly skyrocketed to 8 hours plus a day of spreading misinformation, drama, and conservative and lots of people, furthering proving our points. Despicable. Then the second part, the Wowzer situation. Part 1, Wowzer's history in Server 32. In S1 Plus, Wowzer and Mopsy were blah blah blah. Just a little backstory on Wowzer. I will leave this part for you because while it does tie into the whole thing, it's more like it's up to you to break down. I'll just pause here and pause here, and you can check it out. And now for the important part. The creation of ASC. ASC is based on betrayal of Wowzer. Initially, this group was around 40 players strong, 50 of them being fighters. The goal was to leave the S1 Plus merger. The leaders were Wowzer, Boo, and Ray Cloud. Ray Cloud left only a few days into the project. Abdam Moopsy noticed that Blood was going to fall apart due to internal leadership issues. We were looking at our best option to leave the server, which ended up being Wowzer's group. On the only condition under which the two would join him, that I hold co R5 with Wowzer, while uh, oh, him saying I hold is probably Moopsy saying that, while Abda gets a council spot. He agreed on the proposal and we made our way into the dead group of his. Upon arriving, I didn't take long to notice that he had never talked about the proposal with both Boo and Ray, effectively breaking our agreement less than one day into the project since we had already left home and there was no going back. Classic Wowzer. Oh, Moopsy. Lies and spies. We never directly accused Wowzer of spying. While we talk about spying, it was directing of heresy. We said to Wowzer that we have no proof that he is spying, although his personality fits being a spy. Just a simple accusation here. But we cannot definitely say he was spying. We might have said they were spying, but we were referring to heresy. Wowzer said, I know heresy said things to Sod on the 24th/23rd time frame is rough. I don't have heresy's SS for this. This is referring to the timeline. Him saying something that was already public knowledge due to spies is very little when it comes to spying. Thanks for admitting he was spying. He also claimed that we lied about heresy, got his friends turned against him, kicked his wife. Anything we claim we have proof. We never lied about heresy. His old friend group did not follow him because of the evidence. We kicked his wife because she was inactive and heresy piloted. So her account would obviously be used to spy on us. She was kicked after heresy and Wowzer left. Spying happened after heresy left the alliance. With a little discussion here, a little screenshot here of heresy sending a screenshot to Sod and Boo. Oh, soft on demand. You lose soft on demand. And now for the plan. Wowzer's plan to join TMS and kick people. We don't understand why Wowzer would lie about so much in this section. It's quite unbelievable. First of all, the timeline is completely flawed. Let's give you the accurate timeline. First, he added us into group chat with SC and SCO and Ross Council. He told us his evil plans and intentions. Oopsie, stop being so dramatic, man. Abda and Khalid expressed minor interest. By the way, Khalid, الله يكون في عونك في الهلالومة اللي احنا فيها دي. Wowzer said he will do this no matter what we think. The discussion then became whether we push with this happening. We decided not to. Soma, Guns, and Deka explicitly mentioned it in the chat. Plan is to stick with our 3 UTC Saturday push. Hours later, Wowzer acted on his own, kicked a lot of people, forever ruining his reputation in this game. Wowzer claims he was present. He presented the plan to everyone. We initially agreed we would utilize it. Khalid and Abda said they fully agree. Wowzer accepted the offer from Jason to become R4. We decided later not to take part of it, which made Wowzer feel like we are abandoning his plan that nobody agreed to. But then we just said Abda and Khalid agreed to it. So which is it, Moopsy? Then Wowzer wanted to prove his loyalty by saying and kicking a lot of people from TMS. Yes. Abda also verbally apologized for TMS TNS for considering one's plan with screenshots here of Abda and whatnot. Wait, who's in the screenshots? Cannot make decisions alone. I'm sorry, since it can affect reputation, our current recruitment plans. I guess we'll also find out who has a leak in leadership. I've got a chat with the others. It's happening regardless of this point, so either you push or don't, and then finally Rover is gonna help with Brands Museum. Leave Don't Freak. Tay is PST. So I'll have to be up for another 3 before I kick. After speaking with our council, it seems like most of us won't want to do anything to do this. By the way, we'll continue to push at 3C as planned, but obviously this will affect them for long term. For me, if I you want to keep sending me info, that's fine. But otherwise, this was instructed not to. I was instructed not to be involved with this anymore. Pretty reasonable response. Wowzer trying to turn Abda against Whoopsie. This section will be extremely short. Abda was the person in council who was fixing at best at fixing internal drama. There were countless times where Ethereal wrote messages to Wowzer, Boo, Arisy, and Moopsy to send to each other to prevent further drama and calm situations down. That being said, I have always been fully transparent with Moopsy. Any screenshots Wowzer sends I have talked to Moopsy about in the past. As for Moopsy being power hungry, that is so incredibly and they know it. Me, Wowzer, everything at one point did believe Moopsy was power hungry, but after too long voice chat, we cleared everything up, and beyond that, we worked very well together until this agreement. Also, below a screenshot of those evil trying to turn me against Moopsy, even calling me at 3 a.m., ruining the 4 hours of sleep of me trying to get everything. Yesterday, this is October 29th. Come on, man. Moopsy is trying to destroy your reputation. We can still fix all these problems. Stop being private. Just talk to us. Are you a man or what? We're all, bro. You have been starting. You have people starting to think this. This is more going to go. They're going to say mess, and none of us want that. We just have to say this. We need to talk to us. And dear God, looks like what? Who's Kirk? And last message for the people who are contemplating joining Wowzer's group: you will not play in a season where you don't get hunted down. Majority of top alliances in this game hate Wowzer now. Alliances he's been in and the alliances fights against hate him 2 seasons in a row. This isn't a coincidence. His reputation is forever ruined. He is basically blacklisted from this game. Disclaimer: we will not respond to anything Wowzer and Arisy have to say with this. We recommend that you all block him like we have. And Bayhard has 9 fingers. I don't know who Bayhard is, but I guess it's an inside joke. Oh well, Bayhard, you have 9 fingers. It is what it is, bro. And yeah, what a roller coaster. I feel pretty fried from reading all this, but in short, don't make deals without everyone being present in those deals. And on that note, I will let you formulate your opinion on this. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you want links to any of the stuff I have provided here, please let me know. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please be sure to drop a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Join my Discord. The link is in the description. And I will see you in the next video. Meow meow.